We've talked about it before with Harald and him being an absentee father. He's asked so little and he's been so uninvolved in Loki's life to then be forced to task him with your... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, it's so unfair.
He asks Loki to murk him, to become a false hero to the eyes of the people. He even asks Loki if he's wrong for caring about Elbaf's future. And honestly, that just makes me feel incredibly sad for Loki, bro.
I actually thought of it's funny how Odin did this. You have Rox who's going against the world government, fighting against them, telling Harold you become a slave, and like building this massive army to fight Emu and his people and pretty much be free. And he was achieving a lot. At the end of the result, he ended up becoming a Diamond University and someone Harold becomes now. Someone who's trying to align himself with the world government and leave the world government's empty promises just to realize this was a mistake. And I felt like they both went separate routes. One was trying to join, one was trying to attack, but they end up in some way became the same thing at the end. That they both were upset, crying, and wanted that other person, like his son, to Roger and Garp take their life at the end. I was just like, wow, like, that's crazy. Like, two opposites, and they butted head on this just for it to end the same. And I'm just like, that's crazy. And I thought of King Riku, but I also thought of it's another version of, I told Lawrence this, of Odin. You have somebody who's believed as a fool, and to everybody's eyes, but in secret, he was actually saving the country. And he believed the empty promises that Kaido and Orochi gave him and passed at the end. Everybody realized, oh, he was actually doing something good for us. Or you have Harold, who everybody views him as this great warrior, great king and everything. He also believed the empty promises and the lies of the world government. At the end of the day, everybody thinks he's great, but he deep down thinks, I'm a fool. Like, I thought it was like he did the same thing, but again, how Odin always does inversions of something. So I thought of Harold and Odin, the comparisons, but the opposite. How everybody views Harold as great, or everybody views Odin as a fool, then reverse change. But this is different because, as we can know, they don't view Harold as that.
Yeah.
That means even though he begged and told Loki to do it, Loki doesn't do it. He doesn't tell Elbaf the mistake that his father did. And it goes into like, Loki takes the burn on himself. Something happens, he doesn't explain it. He doesn't want to explain it for whatever reason. Like, he's the one who, I'm the bad guy, so I'm going to take on the blame or whatever. And that's why it goes into probably why he didn't want to tell the story in the first place. That makes his father look, like this is like, everybody already views me this. Let him just keep believing that. So that's why I thought they made more depth as Loki as a character. So now our understanding of Loki might be different because, like, and I think you were saying, like, Loki's clearly hiding something. That even though he's doing this, it's more for show. He's still upset. He's still angry. I wonder what's moaning him now because his father is gone or whatever. So what is truly in your heart? What is your objective? And you have two voices speaking in your head. You have Rox's voice and you have your father's voice. It's like he has to pick two paths now because it looks like he's still on the verge of destruction, but you're still also trying to protect and hold on to something your father's legacy to a degree. So I wonder what Loki's going to pick at the end. Or is it one and the same to him? My objective is to obviously take out the world government. That should be your objective. For your father in Rox, that's what you should do.
Harold basically making this claim out, it's sad because, like Lano highlighted, it doesn't come out this way to the people. And it's even sadder because everybody in this room gets wiped. Except Loki, except Ja Rule. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody in here goes. There's nobody else who could tell. Like, they're hearing this. They're hearing it. They're witnessing it. They could be witnesses to this. And they don't make it out.
So I was going to make it, going to what you're saying. Do you think Ja Rule actually lost his memory or he agreed with Loki and do not defame my father?
I mean, we'll get into it, but is it just Loki? You know what I'm saying? Is there one person who made that decision or is there four?
Yeah.
People who made that decision.
But
we'll get into that a little bit later, and Larry had a theory about that a little bit earlier. So it's sad to hear him say it, but I love this is the kind of action Conquerors take in One Piece. I don't care about my reputation. I don't care about none of that. I don't care how I'm viewed. Tell them the truth. Tell them what happened, even if it tosses me into the mud. Make yourself the king of Elbaf and take the throne and fight against this in a way that will allow for the people to be safe. And Harold's like, yo, who cares about my rep as long as Elbaf's future is protected? Am I wrong? Like, he's pleading to Loki. Am I wrong? Like, what are you talking about? Who cares? I'm about to crash out, for real. I can't control anything anymore.
Yeah.
I need you to lock in right now and take me out. And it's sad. The one piece of this that does bother me a bit is that we've talked about it before with Harold and him being an absentee father. He's asked so little and he's been so uninvolved in Loki's life to then be forced to task him with your, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, it's so unfair. It's so unfair of you. And obviously, it's crunch time, right? You can't really go another means here. But if you would have been and had him more involved, he might have been able to instruct you or at least help you with this, at least a little bit. I don't know. A lot of what Harold said hurt me in this chapter, just kind of reading it. But tell the people I was a fool of a king, kill me and become a hero. Lana, your inverse parallel between him and Odin, I was gonna do a write up on it. I thought you did perfect. I thought that was exactly what I was gonna say. So you got it. In general, I don't know. It's just tough. It's tough to see, and like he's crying now. You know what I'm saying? I can almost guarantee you the first time Loki's ever seen his dad cry, because he wasn't there when Ida passed.
Yeah,
he wasn't allowed to be. So
showing what Loki's dealing with too. That I just see my dad get poked up, and I just see my dad survive all that poking. And also too, he's trying to attack me. I thought it was very interesting from the first time we saw back before the flashback. And I'm thinking Loki's gonna crash out because you're seeing your dad in a situation he took everyone out. We don't know circumstances or whatever. But seeing the exact opposite happened here, as in you just seen your dad get poked up, and then your dad just swing on everyone. But immediately you view the danger person here, the one that you have to stop, is not the soldiers, it's your dad. The one who called you here was your dad. You're seeing this? But that's what I thought was very interesting here. Because the situation, like, yo, dad, why are they attacking you? Like, kind of like, all right, whatever. But he already kind of viewed his dad being the danger and in the wrong. Like, I don't understand. Why are you trying to attack me and the soldiers? You just saw them get poked up. It's something like, yo, why are the soldiers attacking you? No. He went, why are you attacking the soldiers? You know? So I thought that was very interesting here. Immediately he deduced that my father's the one that's evil here. Even though the strictures would have first allowed you, would be like, hold on, why are they attacking my dad?
Unless he has the voice of all things and they both are hearing each other.
You think so?
Could be.
It could be. I thought that was very interesting, that Loki's perspective.
Wouldn't the conversation have taken place there then? Some of the things that I guess it can't because of Emu.
Well, Loki also, he doesn't know how to utilize Conqueror's hockey. He didn't even know what it was. He was just doing it. So it could be the same in this way.
And, so Lionel brought it up too about how Loki didn't do what Harald said, but did the exact opposite because he didn't want to defame his father, but he took all the blame himself. But I thought it was also very interesting is that he also told him, take me, but take the throne. You know how your son is. It's like, if Loki takes the throne, are you planning on going to war with the world government? Because of this. Because if Loki takes the throne, that's what you kind of have to expect is going to happen, right? Is a war between the Elbaf giants and the world government. But he told him to take the throne to do so. So I wonder if that's what Harald wants here now, because your son doesn't share those sentiments with you. And to me, it's like, maybe Harald wasn't around enough to know this, but all of Elbaf does know what Loki wants. In fact, I'm pretty sure he said it to his father that he viewed Elbaf as weak. So if Loki's, anyway, their king, they're going to go back to a warring nation, you know? So I wonder how Harald's understanding here. It's just like, no matter what, as long as it's not slave to the world government.
I mean, hey, hold the throne for Harald doesn't really ring. I don't know if you can convince him to do that.
What can we say about this foolish, broken king whose final moments are defined by misery and regret? Harald spends his last breath begging his own son to shoulder the responsibility of protecting Elbaf from the world government and from Harald himself. He asks Loki to murk him, to become a false hero to the eyes of the people. He even asks Loki if he's wrong for caring about Elbaf's future. And honestly, that just makes me feel incredibly sad for Loki, bro. Every parental figure in his life has failed him. His mother didn't want him. She tried to assassinate him simply because of how he looked. The people of Elbaf despise him for how he behaves. The one man Loki truly respected was murked by the very world government his father desperately wanted to align with. His only real parent, the one who wasn't even biologically related to him, was poisoned and murdered by his mother's own people. And now, the father who was never really there asks Loki to care about a nation he doesn't even like, to take his life, to become a false hero, and to fight the world government in his place because of the mess he made. Is it any wonder why Loki just leaves Elbaf the moment this battle ends?
It's too much responsibility, man. I'm out.
Like,
it's a lot going on.
He didn't want any of this.
Yeah.
None of it was ever his choice. And here's the contradiction with Harald. Despite his final words sounding noble, he might be one of the most selfish characters in all of One Piece. He never truly cared about anyone but himself. He hid behind a facade of righteousness, using acculturation and progress as an excuse, while every outcome benefited him at the expense of others. Harald may have had grand intentions, but he's absolutely right when he admits that he ruined his own dream. What bothers me most is that he never reflects on Rocks, on what Rocks warned him about, especially. I really hope eventually we do see Harald acknowledge that Rocks was right, and that ignoring him was his greatest mistake. I'm genuinely hoping we get that moment of reflection, because it would complete Harald's tragedy in a way that truly matters.
I agree with some of that. I don't know about he was doing this for selfish reasons, per se. He still had Elbaf in mind when he was doing these things, but...
To each his own, my brother. But anyway, let's read through.